Are you ready? I said, are you ready for the
I
thousands in attendance and for the millions watching at home and for that one fat ass guy sitting at home on the couch? Let's get ready to suck it.
Oh my God, he took it back to that.
And you
Really?
can't tell me shit about the attitude. Well, I like the old school, with the
Mm,
90s Triple H and the HBKs and all of them, Razor,
mm,
Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, 1, 2, 3 Kid, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate War. I like that era, but the Attitude era when DX came in and they was beefing with the Nation of Islam, not the Nation of Islam, the Nation of Domination. I'm sorry, they was with the Nation of Domination. That was the era when the Undertaker threw Mankind off the Hell in a Cell, and everybody thought he died. Then you can't
yep.
shit about. I'll watch some old school wrestling right now. Promise you. This new shit, you can have that. I don't want it. But old stuff that I grew up with when it was real, when I thought it was real, I guess more real than it is now. Everything is so censored now. Even, could you imagine having the matches that Mankind Mick Foley used to have? Now, like, there's no way. Oh,
Yeah.
censor this shit. Back in the 90s, they was like, hey, we don't give a fuck. Hell, even the Golden Girls. If you ever go back and watch the Golden Girls, that shit,
He said the Golden Girls.
the gold, nigga, I had never seen the Golden Girls before in my life. It's just something that I never thought I was really interested in. Four older white women. I don't know what the hell they talking about. It's just something that it never resonated with me. That's a big word, I know. It never resonated with me. So it's not something I can get into. But this girl I was messing with,
Love the Golden Girls.
and I would watch it, I'd be like, there's no way they could tell these jokes now.
I agree.
He'll get away with it. So I feel like that's the same way with wrestling, you know. But anyways, if you don't know, you should know. This is my name right here. I just got had to print it on my shirt so everybody can know how to spell my name. It's Dave. Um, see, all of that. This is a shirt that my estranged ex girlfriend bestowed
Right.
on me one evening. So for that and that alone, shout out to Kathy. Thank you very much. On the other hand, you still a bitch, and all that petty shit you did on Facebook. Think, never mind. Anyways, don't nobody really. We just gonna say something was salty. That's all we gonna say. Cause I'm gonna tell you how my week went. So before we gonna backtrack a little bit. So I had this nice little landscaping job, not a landscaping so much, but like this yard.
Mm,
Me had this big yard out in Florissant, overgrown, lawnmower broke. So I'm like, cool. Make sure my lawnmower tires the right pressure. It's an overgrown yard. So this is
mm-hmm.
all the proving grounds. I'm gonna step my game up and I'm gonna bring it because I like yards that's overgrown. Cause like you see the before, people like, boy, you good. Yes. So I had sharpened my blades. My dumb ass was reading the wrong numbers on the damn air inflator gauge, overfilled my tire, and it bust. I'm talking about that. All you heard was
Oof.
ah. I'm like, oh, fuck. I hit the door. I was like, wow. My pinky knuckle still a little swollen because I punched that door stupid. I was like, wow. I'm like, fuck. But now I gotta text him like, hey, bro, I can't do it today. I blew a tire. Now I don't have no money. So now I gotta rearrange my yards, hustle up on the yards where I know dude gonna pay like instantly. As soon as I send him that text, when he get a second, he gonna bloop right to my account. So I'm like, okay, let me hustle up on some money. Let me collect some ends from some customers that owe me my money, and then we're gonna see about getting another tire. So I called around a few places. Cheapest tire was like $100 for a lawnmower tire for the tire on my zero turn. This was Monday. And I'm like, oh, okay. The dude was like, well, we only got one left. And I was like, well, I ain't really got the money right now. Anyway, just thinking to myself. So I'm like, well, the other place had it. It was $10 more. Uh, but I mean, they had like five or six of them in stock. So I know I didn't have to rush about getting down there so I could find the right size lawnmower tire. So had to pay for the tire. That was $1.10. I'm gonna tell you how much mistakes cost. That was $1.10 for the tire. That was a tire that I already caught a piece of glass in, more in the spot where I caught a flat in my last lawnmower. I shouldn't have been over there, and I did it anyway. So I had an inner tube in it. So that means I took the valve stem out. I don't know what happened to the valve stem. I lost it somewhere. So that was another $10. Then they had to mount the tire. That was $30. So that ended up being $150. I had to come out of my pocket because my dumb ass was not paying attention. Like some told me, like, hey, ain't no more air going in this tire. But I'm like, no, the numbers say it's only 30 pounds of pressure. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. So then, so that was my Monday. So Tuesday, pick up the tire. Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday evening, I was back rolling, had a new tire. Cool, boom. Wednesday, me and my boy said we go out to their Florissant, knocked out my boy bushes, turned them up real nice, cut his yard. I'll probably post some pictures probably at the end of this, so you can see my work. Man,
Mhm.
cut his yard, nice, down like from a foot and some change down to like 4 inches. Cut it, look fantastic. Only reason why the grass looks yellow because it's zoysia. When you cut zoysia low, or you cut it and it's like overgrown, it's gonna yellow up for a couple days. But he
Mhm.
thought that he didn't get that letter or that sticker on his door that says, "Hey, this is the city of Florissant, and you have been upkeeping your property." So, according to the HOA and this, that, and the third, we're gonna have to fine you. So I knocked that out. So then, back to the story at hand about the estranged ex. So tell me why I get this random text message.
Mhm.
Hey, you have something from Liberty Mutual. I was like, where could I possibly have something from Liberty Mutual? I was like, who is this? So sent a picture with the address and shit on there. I was like, oh. So, as cordial as I could be, I simply texted her back for whatever reason. Do not contact me anymore. Now, normal people like myself, maybe Rebecca, if a person doesn't want me to contact them, I'm not going to contact you. I'm not going to make a fuss about it. Honestly, if we didn't got to that point where one of us got to tell each other not to contact each other, then we probably ain't got no business being around each other anyways, okay? Uh, but no, oh no, no, not in her case. Oh no, nope, 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 nope. That's too much like doing right. That's too
Mhm.
much like doing right. So saying some talking about some. Well, if you got your address changed, you wouldn't have to hear from me. Now, what does my address change have to do with you just throwing it in the trash? As if it had been me when I was at my old apartment, there was mail from residents that was there 2, 3, 4, 5 times before I was, still getting mail. Melvin, Leotis, Tay Tay. I'm just making these names up. I'm just saying, like, this mail be coming to my house. You know what I do? I throw it right in the trash. And here's the thing: you ever work for a company? You
Mhm.
ever work for a company, and no matter how many times you change your address, they still get it wrong? They
True.
sent your W-2s to an address you lived at 2 years ago.
I know somebody who just got mail at their new house under their married name that they haven't used in 10, 12 years. Just people just don't get it right.
Hmm. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, still a bitch. I see.
Mm.
Good luck with that. And I just blocked her number. Like I haven't contacted you since we've not been together. I haven't driven past your house. Not on your street. I've driven in the general area because hell, St. Louis is small. I ain't driven past your house. I haven't vandalized it. I haven't reached out to you, any of your friends, for whatever reason. So because you in such a place, you want everybody else to be miserable. You don't try to start BS with me. My co-host Rebecca is going to be speaking on this in just a second. Rebecca, speak on this. What do you think about this situation?
With Kathy,
Yes. What are your thoughts? This is just personal life business going on. Just certain individuals just want trying to bring negativity in your life. Hey, what nobody even thinking about you. Apparently, you still feeling salty about whatever it is. I broke your heart. We not together. Whatever the hell it is. Apparently, somebody's still feeling salty and cannot move on from trying to bring
land of
drama
salt.
and negativity in somebody else's life. So, Rebecca, my excellent co-host, BFF
House.
with the head wrap again.
Man, it's so hot, man. You can't have your hair down up in this joint. It's so hot, bro.
Man.
First of all, St. Louis, y'all ain't shit for this heat. I just want to say that. Second of all, so in regards to this, you can look at it two ways. You got some people that'll say, well, she was just reaching out to let you know you got mail here. But the thing is this, with the way, so you can look at it, and I'm gonna get to it. You can look at it that way. Then you got some people that'll be like, I want nothing to do with him, throw it in the trash. With the way that y'all situation went down, I don't logically understand what was the point of her reaching. Like, I'm not saying she did anything wrong. I mean, I just wouldn't do it. If I was her, I wouldn't do it. With the way the situation was handled and how things went down with y'all, and the severity to one person could have either been shot or lost their life. Like, I don't understand what part of her consciousness said, reach out to him and let him know he still got mail coming here. Like, I would have just threw it in the trash. Or returned it to the mailbox with a note that says this person no longer lives here. It's just that simple. Like, with how it went down, I just think that there was no point in that person contacting you, none whatsoever, just based upon how it went down. It would be different if none of that happened and y'all ended off on like mutual terms and y'all were still cool, like you and one of your other exes. And she say, hey man, just a heads up, I don't know why you getting this here, but it's still coming here. Just want to let you know, Liberty Mutual got the wrong address. That's different versus how you and Kathy went down. Like, I don't understand what was the point of her contacting you. Even if it was mail coming to her house for you, just give it back to the postman. Leave it in the mailbox with a note. Hey, this person doesn't live here.
So let me ask you, Rebecca, our first topic for this evening. How old is too old to put your business on social media?
Shouldn't nobody be putting their business like that on social media. For what? For what? Social media ain't nothing but your representative, the person that you portray yourself to be. And you ain't taking accountability. It's just another, social media sometimes is just another platform for people to garner sympathy and migrate away from accountability. That's just my opinion. Because the truth is, most of the time you ain't even really telling the truth about what you did. If you put something like that on social media, you're not telling people this is what I did, this is what I said, so on and so forth. You just telling somebody or these people who don't like you, who don't love you, they don't care nothing about you. These friends, internet friends, you just telling them your business, but you're not really telling them your business. You telling enough business in order for you to be the victim.
A piece. A little tinge of your business.
Like, you're not even, but you're not telling the whole truth. You just telling enough business in order for you to be the victim. It's just another way for people to garner sympathy. But if you are the type of person that looks for validation and looks for people to include you, and you looking for attention seeking, then that's what you're gonna put online. You're gonna always be a victim. If you, especially if you can't get it from anybody that's around you, your
Mm.
next avenue is social media. That's just my opinion.
So after we had an exchange of words,
Mm-hmm.
oh God, it's funny. Somebody decides to put that little raggedy text message on Facebook. I don't even know what the caption was that she put up there along with my picture.
She's trying to say, did I deserve him calling me a bitch?
You tried to shoot me, bitch. I think that qualifies as me. And let's be clear. I called her bitch before she fired the gun. So you not the first woman that I've called a bitch, and you not gonna be the last. If I feel you acting like one, if the shoe fits, I'm gonna call you such. The one I would have married, I called a bitch. I called Lisa a bitch. Yeah, you ain't the first one. I called several females bitch. And different connotations, different context, but still, come on, man, don't get it twisted. You ain't special. And yes, let's just put this out there so we can play the victim. Like, come on now. How old is too old to put your business on social media? You know what? I kind of get it when you. I kind of get it when you are. How should I say? Hold on, Becky. Hold on. Sorry about that, y'all. I forgot to plug my computer in. Where was I? So basically, we had an exchange of words. You decided
Mm-hmm.
you want to put your business on social media. I can understand when you in your early 20s
Mm-hmm.
feel like you have something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you got to set the record straight for the world.
Yeah.
Because I believe in your early 20s, at least on my behalf, in my early 20s, I never understood or possibly have thought of thought of the concept of the Trinity explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Regardless of how you try to spin the narrative, regardless of how much you try to play the victim, the truth needs no explanations. Like if you are upset at the fact that men only want to hit you up to smash and go on about their business. That says more about you than it does about them. To be a near 50-year-old woman, I don't understand why you act the way you act. I don't understand. Well, I do understand because you constantly seek validation. Uh, you
Mm-hmm.
constantly seek notoriety from people. If I'm not in the spotlight, if I don't have attention, then like I can't survive, you know. Like you can't just post a picture up on social media. You can't just post a selfie without saying she cute. Oh, she cute every fucking picture. She cute. You constantly trying to validate yourself to the world, which is probably why she's there damn near 50 years old and you still putting your business on Facebook. I think it's really childish. And I would expect that from a child. And I mean child, I mean like a human being who's not fully developed. In your early 20s, you still gonna do a whole lot of dumb shit. Not saying you're not gonna do dumb shit in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever the case may be. But the older you get, the less dumb shit you're supposed to do, in theory. So I can understand if you're 19, 20, 21, you beefing with people on Facebook. But at this point, once you get past, I really want to say about 25, you like stop putting all your business on Facebook. Like I've blocked people for that very reason. And
Mm-hmm.
fortunately, I got caught up in that negativity when we was together. We had some exchange of statuses and stuff on Facebook, and I had to shut my shit down for a couple of days. I'm like, you know what? This is not me. I don't do that. I don't argue with people on Facebook. Like, yeah, I might start trolling after a while. Something like I do troll a lot. I'm not gonna lie, but it just be people just be talking outside of their necks, or they just get downright disrespectful. Like you try to ask a question, well, you should know the answer to that. It's Google. And okay, see, then I'm gonna start trolling just because I'm an asshole. Uh,
So glad you're one with yourself.
Thank you. It took a long time for me to get to this place. Not the bad guy I used to be, but I'm not necessarily the good guy everybody wants me to be. I think I'm pretty fair though. But yeah, nigga, I had to take a step back, look at myself, be like, I don't do this. It's not me. I don't do this. Like I said, I blocked somebody for that. It was a status that dude had allegedly made about somebody sleeping with his wife, even though she's the community whore.
Mm,
Everybody, they mama done skeeted up in your wife before and after you put that ring on, my nigga.
not the community whore.
The community whore. Everybody and they mama ran up in there, and she still fucking niggas on the side while you at work. So allegedly, dude had made a status about me, and then she gonna hit my inbox trying to stir some drama. Oh, you know that status was about you.
Yeah.
What status are you referring to? I don't know what status it is that you're talking about. Oh, that status so and so whoop de whoop them had made. I was like, oh, okay. So I went to pay, and it said something about like, oh, you trying to holler at my wife? Just let me know what it is so I can step away and step off to the side. Whoop de whoop.
Wow.
My nigga, everybody that had her, except for me, I ain't never done nothing with her, but I know a whole lot of people who have.
Mm,
And I'm just like, and that was a couple of years ago. Like this is when you like 28. I'm like, yo, don't bring that bullshit to me. Like
yeah.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't care. Y'all too old for this. And I blocked him and her, bro. Talking about y'all too old for that. Way
That's
too old. Hell, you too old to be putting all your business in the street. That means at your job, telling all your business to your church members. Because remember, not all them church members is your friends. I done had church members cheat me out of some money. You so-called go to church,
mm,
some money. Somebody asked me about that today. Oh, did you know so and so? Yeah, I remember her. Yeah, whatever happened? She used to go here. I don't know. Yeah, I heard you did some work for her. I said, yeah, she owed me some money. Oh man, I never would have thought. Now that's a good
wow.
Christian brother. Good Christian brother. Study his Bible, go to church every Sunday. It's a good man. I never thought that she would do that, man. You go to church. I say, hey, everybody in church ain't the same now. You go a whole lot of crooks who's sitting in them pews. Y'all want to look at that crook who's standing up in that pulpit. You got a whole lot of crooks who sit next to you in the damn audience. Better be careful who you dealing with, who you deal business with. Everybody not real. I don't care if you go to church. I don't care if you go to mosque. Everybody not on that. Hey, I'm gonna treat you fairly. I'm not gonna try to cheat you because I don't want somebody to cheat me. Rebecca, what are your thoughts? Is everybody who go to church real or no?
No.
Just
Most of the
institution.
time, no. Just honestly, most of the people that I've met in church, I found a few people that were genuine, but for the most part, no. A lot of people, and I can't say for the recent church I was at, because the recent church I was at, everybody was like real cool, real chill. And for the most part, they were genuine. But I've been to other churches, even I would say based on a church that I went to here, it was cliques, and they were family. Everybody knew everybody, you know what I mean? Like kind of thing, and or the majority of the church was family.
They just be staring at you when you walk into the church.
Like it's a whole clique. Like if some people don't get along with you, it's like nobody gets along with you. Like I to answer your question, in my opinion, no, I don't think it's any.
Mm,
And for the most part, it's not a lot of genuine people at church. It's just not, and it's sad.
On the flip side of that,
Hmm.
there's a whole lot of church folk who won't worship in a setting in which they feel is lesser than. Does that make sense?
Say that again. You say they won't.
Okay, there's a lot of church folk who don't want to worship in a setting in which they view as lesser than.
Okay.
You got to have the big congregation. No, I'm gonna start preaching now. You got to have the big church with that big fancy sanctuary. You got to have that big cross. Oh, that choir got to be sounding good every Sunday. Oh, how y'all choir? Oh, how y'all choir sound? Y'all got a band? What about the message? What about the message that the pastor's supposed to be bringing to you? You don't care about that. You just want to be seen. Oh, girl, I went to church Sunday. That choir was hidden, boy. What was the pastor talking about? Well, I don't know, but damn it, that choir was hit. Ooh, old gal hit that note. Oh, Jesus, boy, that choir was hidden. Girl, that band was something else.
You stupid.
I'm playing. You think I'm playing? You know some people like that. You only go to church just so you can hear the band. Nigga, if that's the choice, what's the difference between you going to church and going to the ambassador? Oh, I can't. Yeah, that's where they play the devil's music. Oh, okay.
That's interesting.
You're only going to church to hear the choir. I see
what you mean.
I know some people like that. Oh, boy, they got a fire. Boy, that choir sound good over there, boy. Oh, okay. What kind of programs they got going on? Well, I only come to hear the choir and the band. Got to hear the choir and the band. There's some people who feel like worshiping in somebody's basement is less than. You know, you got to have the big church. You got to have something that you can brag on, especially in today's age. I know this wasn't a part of the topic, but we're going to continue on down this road anyway, especially nowadays where everybody got to tweet about it, Instagram about it, Facebook about it, Facebook Live. Everybody got a Facebook Live themselves at church.
You stupid.
So they can be seen. You don't FaceTime the pastor, you just FaceTime the choir and the band and all the lights.
And you FaceTime you sitting in church.
You FaceTime while you in church, but you supposed to be getting some word though. You supposed to be there to make your life better, but you there to hear what? Hear some good music? I mean, yeah, sure, the music is supposed to draw you in. Sure, I get that. You know, the music, the band, the choir, they supposed to draw you in. You know, they're supposed to open up your spirit. And then when your spirit is opened up, then the preacher, the speaker, whoever's supposed to come in, give you some good word, the choir closes it out. I get that, but you going strictly for the music. Only reason why, or because it's some people that go there. There's a whole lot of people who go to church just because somebody else go there. Well, you know, I go to church with Miss Robbie from Sweetie Pies. Oh, I go to church where Nelly Mama go to church at. I go to church where Cedric the Entertainer Mama go to church at. Yeah, I know you done heard them, Rebecca. You ain't never had them come. Oh, I go to that church that so-and-so them preach at. Oh.
The Vale Crawford Mama, yeah.
I go to church where Lavelle Crawford Mama go to church at. Yes, Lord.
Beyonce Mama, and the only reason why you showed up, or I was in church one day and they was like, yeah, Ron, the pastor was like, yeah, Ron Isley and his family come and worship here because you trying to keep members. You trying to get members in and keep them.
Ron
That's
Isley.
crazy.
We gonna ask our brother Ronald Isley, like, you know, you one of them churches where everybody know you can sing, but all you want to do is just sit in the pews, get you a little message, and they just want to bring you up like that little kid and his grandmama. Come on, baby, sing. Come on, baby. I hate it
here. Yo, when I seen that video,
that little nigga was like, I hate it here. I want to go home.
Yo, and they
baby, let him use you.
That little boy was being genuine. He don't want to be here.
That's how they is. Oh, we gonna ask brother Ronald Isley to lead us in a selection, and you be like, nigga, I'm just here to just here. I'm here to worship, or I'm just here to chill. You know, I'm just here to be at the party. I'm not trying to perform no hits. I'm not trying to sing. I'm just trying to be over here.
Mm-hmm.
I like that person because of what? Because you want to seem bigger than what you really is. I go to the Potter's house. You go to one of them churches that got no disrespect to the Potter's house per se. I don't know what kind of policies and things that these dudes and stuff got going on. But at the same time, it's a lot of folk who out here faking the phone. And if you want to be perfectly honest with you, it wasn't but a handful of times that Jesus preached in a synagogue. Oh, but y'all don't want to talk about that. Oh, that's too real. That's too real for you. Say that again. It was only a handful of times that Jesus ever preached in a synagogue.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time you see Jesus preaching here in the streets with them peoples, the killers, the drug dealers, the thugs, the prostitutes, the regular people, the poor, the lame, and the sick. That's where he was at.
Yeah.
So y'all supposed to be Christ-like. Y'all don't even want to follow that one example. But you feel
Mm.
like you too good to worship somewhere. They ain't got enough members. They ain't got enough likes on Facebook.
Not enough likes.
Mm. Oh, they worship over here in a basement, or they worship here in an old school building. Oh Lord, oh no, I can't go there. For real, there's people like that.
Yeah, I know.
Uppity. You uppity as hell. Oh shit, my flag fell. Oh Lord, no. I know. Duct tape together, y'all. Excuse
That
me.
flag said, I'm tired of this shit.
Man, sick of this shit. My duct tape
No,
there.
it's
Mm-hmm.
if you see me around, it's because it's so hot up here.
Hey, it's good, nigga. We know how it is because it was like nice, and it's all of a sudden St. Louis like turn the heat up.
Right about now. Like, whew,
Right about now, as soon as Rebecca gets ready to come to St. Louis, we're gonna turn the thermostat up.
like yikes. That's why I keep wiping my face, nigga. I am sweating my ass off.
Sweating
Always
harder
three.
than a whore in church.
Listen, it's always 3,000 degrees up here in Mama's house. I don't understand, bro. We
Listen,
ain't that
Rebecca.
close to the sky.
Listen, evil is good.
That ain't why I'm sweating, nigga. It's just hot.
Evil is good.
Give me a second.
You ever had a piece of evil ass?
No.
Brother Brown had a piece of evil ass last night. It was bad for Brother Brown, but it was good, huh? That Vampire in Brooklyn, that is a straight classic. Rest in peace to Brother Witherspoon. Man, gone but never forgotten. So I'm not sure if you, Rebecca, have heard about your boy Akon.
I'm doing some more research.
Okay, well, for those of you who don't know, Akon has had hits like Locked Up, and that's pretty much all I know Akon from. He got some songs with Jeezy.
He discovered Lady Gaga.
Yeah, apparently he got a song with Lady Gaga too. I mean, other than that, honestly, when it comes to Akon, I can't really think of too many songs. Cause like Akon's not really a standalone artist. Akon is more of a producer, the dude that can hop on your track and sing you like super hooks and come up with some nice beats. Akon's not really a standalone artist, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
But the reason why I ask, well, it's a couple of reasons. I ask, has Akon sold out? One reason is Akon has been spotted working with Tekashi Snitch 9
Mm.
after he has snitched and got out of jail, and he's remixing "Locked Up." You know, the song, the styles he had, like it's a classic. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he is remixing the song with Takashi 69.
Yikes.
That's one of the reasons why Ask has he sold out. And reason number two has he sold out. He was recently on Vlad TV,
Mm-hmm.
in which he said that African Americans need to get over slavery.
Ooh.
Senegalese people, we don't dwell on it and we have moved forward. And he's like, I think a lot of African Americans just dwell on the past too much instead of focusing on the future. So, Rebecca, has Akon sold out on the 1 and 2 side of the game? Or
He's
is Akon even, I mean, can he sell out? Because, I mean, technically he's American born, but he's, really mostly like African. His parents was, African. He's first generation, but, he was sent to Senegal for a little while and then he had his little street thing he was going on. So maybe he doesn't identify with us. So maybe he can't be a sellout. Rebecca?
I think anybody can sell out. I think that it's a lot of these people that are doing music with Takashi just based upon the fact that they know that his name causes controversy. Um, so there's that, and they know that anytime Takashi's name come in the headlines, that people will automatically jump on it and run to the video and listen. In my opinion, that's what it seems like to me. As far as that, the sellout, I don't think is good in my opinion. I think for an integrity standpoint, like why would you want to do business with a rat? But I mean, that's just me. Some people don't have the same concept. I do think that the sellout part for me was when he said black people need to get over slavery. That was the sellout statement to me. Like it was already bad business that you doing business with a rat, but then for you to come back and say black people need to get over slavery, my life just ain't going right today. It's like, who are you to make that statement? You know what I'm saying? Like, just to shorten it up, I think he sold out. In my opinion. Now you got some that'll argue, and they'll say, "Well, what about all the good that Akon has done for his for his country, as far as like solar power, so on and so forth?" And it's like, just because you do good for your country, does that necessarily mean that you ain't a sellout? Does that negate the fact that you selling out? It almost sounds like, oh well, like what Kanye doing, in the sense of, oh well, Kanye lost his mama, so y'all got to give him some credit for that. You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye has done a lot for for Black Americans, and he said this and he said that and he did this and he did that. We have to also look at that and just reconsider. No, a sellout is a sellout. I feel like Akon just about the money. He really don't give a fuck about the people. And that's what that statement said to me when he's like, oh, well, black people just need to get over slavery. We're still enslaved, just not in that traditional sense. My opinion.
Well, this is sort of a complex issue, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
On one hand, you could say, as far as, okay, let me start with Takashi 69. Are you a sellout? When it comes to Takashi, bro, like literally everybody needs to distance themselves away from this dude. Like he told my son, because my son had confronted him on an IG live session, and Akon pretty much just came out and admitted it was about the money.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what this dude did, how he disrespected the culture. Like, yo, what's the deal? And that kind of ties in with his statements on African Americans need to get over slavery, because basically what Akon has done, he is born in St. Louis, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
But culturally, you don't identify as a American, foundational Black American. descendant of American slavery, whatever it is that you choose, African American, whatever term you choose to use, he doesn't identify as that. He
Mm,
identifies as Senegalese, as his
mm,
parents are. So, regardless of the shit that he did in this country, African Americans need to get over slavery. This is not his culture. So what that tells me is, nigga, you've never given a fuck about our culture. You're a culture vulture. You are a black African culture vulture, and that's pretty much the bottom line. That's pretty much the whole premise of it. Like, you want to benefit off of our culture, but you don't
mm,
care about the plight that comes with that culture. You don't want to take responsibility for what 6ix9ine did to the culture and how he took away from it. You just care about the money. Now,
mm.
you say black people, black Americans, African Americans, he said, need to get over slavery. Okay, one could say that. However, okay, I'm gonna spin this two ways. First of all, if Africans cared more about slavery, like we did here in America, them Chinese, them white folk, and everybody else would be up the fuck out of Africa. Bottom Bottom line, you could talk about, oh, you need to just forget about slavery. Oh, I'm sorry, let me use my African accent. Oh, you lazy African American. You are always stuck in the past. You need to get over the slavery. Uh, it is a long time ago. You need to get over it. Okay. But first of all, if y'all countries are so great, why are y'all rushing to get over here?
Mm.
Are we gonna talk about how there's plenty of countries that still pay France colonial times? Haiti being one of them, and Haiti from Africans, but the Haitians are one of them. Libya is an African country who's probably still pays ties to France. I know France has had a hand in assassinating a bunch of Libya's leaders, along with quite a few other countries, and that's not including Britain, Italy, Belgium. That's not including the rest of the European countries who decided to divide up Africa. So if y'all niggas, not all Africans, because I know some ride or die straight down with it Africans,
Mm-hmm.
with the mentality like Akon. If y'all niggas care more about slavery and freeing your people than you did with lining your pockets, Africa would have been free by now.
Mm.
Now, as far as us African Americans getting over slavery, okay, let's get over slavery. Let's just throw 230 some odd years of slavery out the window. Let's just throw it out the window.
Never existed.
Never existed. We're going to pretend that American chattel slavery did not exist. It just doesn't exist. Well, Dave, where
Okay.
are you going with this? Where are you going with this? Simple. So there's no slavery, right? There's no slavery. So since there's no slavery, we just gonna skip straight from the shores of Africa to Reconstruction. Oh, Reconstruction, sharecropping. Is that slavery?
Mm.
Yes, it is. So no slavery, but there's Reconstruction where there's more slavery. Okay.
Right.
Um, there's Jim Crow, which is basically bullshit ass separate but equal, which wasn't equal.
Mm.
Separate, it was a way to try to keep African Americans down, and thus that is a form of slavery because they didn't think that we could do it by ourselves. So a lot of us had to go cross town, way down, cross them railroad tracks, and some of your grandmamas had to scrub floor for these crackers.
Ooh.
Let's not act like this was so long ago. Some of y'all grandmamas was washing floors.
Yeah.
So you had Jim Crow, the separate but equal. You had civil rights, which was basically an open war on blacks. You killed everybody who was anybody, and those who didn't get killed or incarcerated were exiled or co-opted. I, lo-
Mm-hmm.
I loved Angela Davis, but Angela Davis has been co-opted.
Mm.
She's basically like voting for Biden is basically better than voting for Trump. But okay, cool. You know they were saying, okay, cool. So Angela Davis has been co-opted. She's not the same Angela Davis that she was back during the 70s. So you had
Yep.
civil rights, where they basically killed off all the black leaders, incarcerated them, or exiled them. So we're supposed to get over that. So there's no slavery, so we got to get over Reconstruction. Hold on, there, Kyle. We got to get over Reconstruction. Get over separate but equal Jim Crow. We got to get over civil rights. Oh, but you Negroes got to vote. And that's why you got to vote Trump out of office because he's so bad. Mm. We got the right to vote. What else do we get?
Mm.
Okay, cool. Then during the late 60s, early 70s came in welfare. Oh, yes. We're going to talk about how you deliberately divided the black man and the black woman. The black woman some resources, so therefore she would not need a black man. So therefore the black man who was the head of the household would have to leave. Or at the very least, he couldn't get caught in the house, shoes, clothes, nothing. Couldn't get caught in the house when that social worker come by.
That is true.
Deliberately, so you deliberately, the U.S. government deliberately separated the black man from, because they were like, when civil rights, up until civil rights, we were united. Dr. King and his wife, Betty Shabazz, Malcolm X, you know, Rosa Parks and her husband. Her husband was a writer. He was all civil rights and pro. I watched like a little documentary on it. Like her, Rosa Parks' husband was a writer too. Rosa was a writer before she sat down on the bus. You know what I'm saying? So before then, even during that time, we had the black family. So it's like, okay, well, we getting shitted on, but we got the black family intact. So
Mm.
we got the black family. Somehow we gonna make it. So then you remove the father from the homes. Then came in the crack epidemic. War on drugs during the 70s and the 80s. Here come in the crack epidemic, the war on drugs. And after we get over that, Rebecca, we have to get over mass incarceration, which is still going on today. After we get over Reconstruction, Jim Crow, civil rights, and welfare, and crack, we have to get over mass incarceration. And after mass incarceration, which is still going on today, we have to get over the extermination of blacks with impunity by police and or race soldiers. So
Mm-hmm.
I can get over slavery if Reconstruction, Jim Crow, civil rights, welfare, crack, mass incarceration, and extermination of blacks with impunity, which Kamala Harris was cool with because she was endorsed by the police unions. She didn't
Yep.
execute no officers who killed unarmed black men and women. No, she did not. No. I'm not going to do anything specifically for black people.
Yep.
No. But y'all go ahead and vote for the mass incarceration twins, Joe and Kamala. Go ahead. Go ahead. So has Akon sold out? Ultimately, yes, he is sold out. You are he a coach vulture. He don't give a fuck about our culture. He has shown that time and again by working with 6ix9ine and your comments. Because let's not act like Africa wasn't enslaved too. It's in this slavery going on in Libya right now. Right now. He got rid of Muammar Gaddafi. Not saying he was the best person. Not saying he was the worst. But you got rid of Muammar Gaddafi. You destabilized that whole Libya area. And just like
Mm-hmm.
that, trying to enslave the Negroes again. And we ain't talking about the white folk. We talking about the Arabs.
Mm.
Time to crank back up the slave trade. Not that it ever really stopped. But now that there's no leader or no official leader over the country, Libya and that little area right there, they can just do what the fuck they want to do. So slavery's not over, Akon. So kiss my ass. Honestly, uh, I mean, I really can't fuck with Akon at all. Not that I ever really fuck with dude, but now it's kind of like, and you can't clarify your statements. Like, come on, bro. So we supposed to get over slavery, and even if we forget about slavery, there's about 6 or 7 other categories that we still have to deal with of bullshit, and not including the psychological trauma of slavery and its effects afterwards. So how can we get over slavery? We're not even gonna bring up them Jewish people. We're not even gonna bring them up. We don't need to discuss them because their struggle is not our struggle. We don't always have to equate things to those people's struggle. We have our own struggle. So we don't even gotta talk about them. We didn't already talk about mass incarceration, crack, welfare, civil rights, Jim Crow. We can forget about slavery, Akon. But what about the rest of that shit? What about the cops who murdered Breonna Taylor?
Mm-hmm.
What about the nigga who killed Trayvon Martin? He's still walking around. About Darren Wilson. What about the rest of these motherfuckers who could just kill us? Who could just kill us? You could be one of them, Akon. You could be one of them. They don't know you from a can of paint. They pull you over in your $1 million sports car, and you could be the murder of a homicide. I mean, you could be the victim of a homicide. You're not exempt. Hell, if anything, you're going to get shot sooner because you're black. And I mean blue black. Akon is dark. Maybe he has some resentment because he was teased in school by African Americans. Maybe he harbors a lot of resentment. But hey, nigga, that's the effects of slavery, nigga. We bag on it. We bag on each other. We used to call each other all type of African booty scratches and shit. You ain't the only one. If that's your case, nigga, you need to get over it. But I just think we need to cancel Akon. And he said something about T-Pain, like T-Pain never really crossed over the way he should because he was always doing hood hits. And everybody in the comments was like going off on Akon, like T-Pain's category is smashing yours.
100%.
By far. Didn't that nigga work with Katy Perry? Akon worked with not Akon, but T-Pain worked with a lot of people. He haven't just done hood hits. Like, he has done a lot of hood hits, and they smashes. But think about it. Our music is the music that everybody wants to listen to. So you could call it a hood hit or a ghetto single or whatever, but eventually that ghetto single is going to make it somewhere, some way on the charts. You look at Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy was gutter, grimy, gritty, dirty than a motherfucker. Boy, I love the shit out of Trick Daddy. That's my nigga. That nigga was grimy than a motherfucker on his lyrics. And he charted. His albums charted. So you can say that, well, his career never blossomed, even though I think that's absurd. I think that's just hate. But yeah, I mean, I can go on and on. I can go on, but I'm not. Rebecca, you got anything else would you like to add to?
No, you pretty much covered it.
Yes. So it's unfortunate that we have to report on some things that is so heinous, so absolutely vile and absurd. It's almost too unreal to believe.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, sometimes dumb niggas do really, really dumb shit.
That's facts.
So the owner of Sweetie Pies, or part owner of Sweetie Pies, Timothy Norman, was recently charged along with a few accomplices in the murder of his nephew, Andre. Rebecca, do you have that article pulled up for us?
I do.
Would you read that for us? Because I would like for you to go into the article because there were some things they said there was some stuff with some cell phones and some towers got pinged with the signal on the cell phone. So just
Hmm. And this comes from WLBT on your side 3 News, based out in Madison County, Mississippi. It says James Timothy Norman, owner of Sweetie Pie's restaurant, has been arrested on federal charges and is currently being held in the Madison County Detention Center. Norman was charged with conspiracy to use interstate commerce, a cell phone, and the commission of a murder for hire resulting in death. According to the complaint, Norman, Terica Ellis, and others conspired a murder for hire in exchange for money. Federal authorities alleged that in 2014, Norman obtained a $450,000 life insurance policy on his 18-year-old nephew, Andre Montgomery. Norman was the sole beneficiary. In the days leading up to Norman's murder, Ellis told Montgomery that she was coming to St. Louis. On March 13, 2016, the day before Montgomery's murder, Norman flew to St. Louis, Missouri from his home in Los Angeles, California. On March 14, 2016, Ellis and Norman communicated using temporary phones activated that day. Ellis also used the temporary phone to communicate with Montgomery and learn his location. Immediately after learning Montgomery's location, Ellis placed a call to Norman. Around 8 p.m. that same day, Montgomery was shot and killed. Ellis' phone location, Ellis's phone location information places her in the area of the murder at the time of the shooting. Immediately following Montgomery's murder, Ellis placed a call to Norman, then began traveling to Memphis, Tennessee. In the days after the murder, Ellis deposited over $9,000 in cash into various bank accounts. On March 21st, 2016, Norman contacted the life insurance company in an attempt to collect on the life insurance policy he had obtained on his nephew. Terica Ellis was also charged with by complaint with the conspiracy to use interstate commerce cell phones facilities in the commission of murder for hire, resulting in death. The STL Metropolitan Police Department Homicide Section and FBI are investigating these charges. That is the report. And it also came out that the guy at the life insurance company was also arrested as well for a faulty life insurance policy.
yes, and also allegedly Tim molested Andre
Ooh,
as a child, and Andre was threatening to tell everyone that he was gay if he didn't pay him money, so he decided to have him killed. Allegedly, I don't know if this is true. Just wanted to put that out there.
and also, um, see, Sweetie, this comes from KSDK. More charges for Welcome to Sweetie Pie star and his insurance agent. This was on August the 20th. More charges have been announced on Tuesday. Okay, then we read all that already. Okay, more charges. So on Thursday, the grand jury also charged Norman and his insurance agent, Wael Rebhi Yagnam, 42 of St. Louis, with one count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and mail fraud. Federal complaints and arrest warrants were previously issued for Norman and Ellis, who were both arrested earlier this week. The indictment alleges that prior to Montgomery's murder, Norman conspired with Yagnam to fraudulently obtain a life insurance policy on Montgomery. So according to the court documents, Norman and his insurance agent submitted 3 separate life insurance applications beginning in October 2014. All applications contain numerous false statements regarding Montgomery's income, net worth, medical history, employment, and family background. In the life insurance policy that was ultimately issued, Norman obtained a $200,000 policy as well as a $200,000 accidental death rider that would pay out in the event that Montgomery died of something other than natural causes, and a $50,000 10-year rider that would pay out if Montgomery died within 10 years of the policy's issuance. According to a release from the Department of Justice, if convicted of conspiracy to commit murder for hire or murder for hire resulting in death, the penalty is life imprisonment or death and a fine of $250,000. A conspiracy to commit wire and mail fraud carries a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison and a fine of $250,000.
Mm.
And that's the second report.
Thoughts?
He gonna be a bad bitch to somebody in jail.
Mm.
Thick ass hips. It's just my opinion. But seriously, I feel bad for Miss Robbie because Tim was in jail once before, and when he got out, Miss Robbie kind of said, "Okay, son, like you coming out of jail for whatever the charge is, and here it is. You're in a situation in which you ain't gonna be able to get a regular job, especially as a black man with a felony conviction. So come work for me. I'll teach you the business because I really believe that." And me and Rhonda was talking about this last night. How Miss Robbie was really truly trying to build a legacy with her business, something that Miss Robbie is in her 80s. You know what I mean? Like, and something that she can pass down to her family. And I think her only child was her son. Miss Robbie didn't have any daughters. So
I think so. I think that was her. Yeah.
yeah, with that being said, like I just felt like he just came in and just fucked up his mama's legacy. Like he ain't shit for what he did. Like it's bad enough that you messed up your mama's legacy, but this is also the same man that tried to like get multiple businesses, without his mama knowing, and then when she found out, tried to sue his mama, took her to court for something that's rightfully hers. You know what I mean? Like it was just a messy situation. But Miss Wright, it doesn't surprise me if Tim was violent to Andre because they had an incident on the show where Miss Robbie had to confront him about how he would like put his hand on Charles, put his hand on Andre, and literally was just mean and violent towards them. And she had a conversation with him, like they went in the store closet and closed the door. She was like, "Look, you can't come out here treating these people like you in jail. This is not how this works. You coming out here beating on these kids, throwing them up against stuff like you can't. You're not in jail, Tim. You can't do this." Like, it's just, I think Miss Robbie had good intentions for her son. I just think that Tim was just being a scam ass nigga. And he took advantage. He really took advantage of his mama, in my opinion, with this. I think that it's messed up because Andre's dad was killed 20 years ago. Like he was killed when, Andre was a baby. And then Miss Robbie's whole intention, even she said on the show, like, my intention was to take him under my wing, get Andre here because he wasn't doing all that great where he was, and at least get him through high school because if I get him through high school, I know he'll be fine. He get down here trying to change his life, and then your uncle ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? You did all that for money. And then on top of, allegedly, one of the producers for Nellyville is supposed to have something to do with it because the producer was allegedly jealous of Andre for some odd reason. I just think it's a messed up situation. You messed up. It's already bad enough that like anything we try to build, somebody take it from us. But it's messed up when your kingdom comes crashing down at the hands of your own people, let alone your son. Well, queendom, so to speak. Like she built that legacy, and here it is. It's like it'll never be the same because all the headlines saying what they say. Sweetie Pie's owner, Tim Norman. You know what I mean? Like you just fucked up your mama's legacy. I think he deserved whatever he get in jail if this is true. And going to jail, you're gonna be a bad bitch. You got them auntie arms, you got them thick ass hips. Yeah, nigga, and you got titties now.
So, according to Real STL News, charges added for Sweetie Pie celeb and his insurance agent, who was Nelly's former producer. Thursday morning, more charges came about for St. Louis restaurant owner Tim Norman, but this time charges were also added for his insurance agent.
Yep.
A grand jury charged Norman, Sweetie Pie's owner, and his insurance agent, Clay Raby Yagnan,
Yeah.
Yadnam, Yadnam, 42, no, anyways, of St. Louis, which was one count of conspiracy to commit wire and mail fraud. The indictment alleges that prior to Montgomery's murder, Norman conspired with Yadnam, his insurance agent, to fraudulently obtain a life insurance policy on Montgomery. Beginning in October 2014, Yagman submitted three separate life insurance applications, all containing numerous false statements regarding Montgomery's income, net worth, medical history, employment, and family background. The life insurance policy that ultimately issued Norman obtained a $200,000 policy as well as a $200,000 accidental death rider that would pay out in the event that Montgomery died of something other than natural causes. 10-year term rider that would pay out if Montgomery died within 10 years of the policy's insurance in 2014. The
Yeah.
arrest.
I think you read the article that I just got to read.
Oh, did I? Because I thought you read. No. You read the one
I read that one, and then I read the article from KS.
article.
It's the same one about the attorney who got charged too. Not the attorney, the life insurance man who got charged too.
Yeah. So this is not the website you was using, but real STL news. But okay.
I like Real SEL News. Shout out to them.
Yes. So the long and short of it, I always knew Tim was dumb. Like you could tell from the show that he got all that head and ain't nothing to fill it with. It just filled with air. Like you could tell he always was sort of a loose end, sort of a wild cat, and he kind of like the Fredo to the family. You know, Fredo got killed because he took sides against the family with somebody else. And Fredo was the type of dude that would cost the family money or would bring the family down. That's Tim Norman. He the dumbass in the family. He the nigga that don't quite fit. Got out of prison, you already did a bid. Come in, you got a job, you got a piece of ownership with your mama in the business. And quite frankly, he was always fucking some shit up. And the times when I would see like the restaurant would be doing good would be like when he not there and Miss Robbie show up. Be like, oh, how come we ain't got this? And how come we ain't got that? And where's that? Whoop-de-whoop. Where's Tim? Where's Tim? You know, Miss Robbie, where's Tim? Oh, Tim left out of here. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, okay. So I always knew he was dumb. I didn't think he was that dumb to kill his nephew. I didn't think he was that dumb to not only fraudulently file an insurance claim, but to do it within a short amount of time from the time that you filed the claim, your nephew ended up dead in a short period of time. Like, I didn't think he was that dumb. Knew he was dumb. I didn't think he was that dumb. I see he is that dumb. And he's going to jail for the rest of his life. He's never coming home. Ain't nobody gonna put money on his books. You just out there. And the fact that somebody's gonna find out that you kill your nephew for money, and somebody gonna get at you about that. Somebody gonna take offense to that. Somebody in prison is going to take offense to the fact that you killed your nephew.
Yeah, my sponsor says good luck with that nigga.
For what? Jealousy? Was you jealous, nigga? You want some attention, nigga? He was smiling in his damn mugshot.
He was smiling hard in that mugshot. Creepy as hell.
Nigga looking
Yeah,
like this in this mugshot.
you stupid. But for real, creepy as hell.
Hmm. So clearly you don't have no remorse for what you did, bro. So
Yeah,
whatever happens, happens.
it is what a TI is.
It is what it is, nigga. Like you deserve everything that's happening to you, blood. The fact that somebody was actually dumb
And
enough
the
to
internet
go
has been
along with your dumb ass. Y'all had the burner phones, and the burner phone was on in the same area in which the murder was being committed at the same time. Like World's Dumbest Criminals, Tim Norman edition, coming soon. Y'all niggas got to be dumb. Dumb. Why, first of all, why would you have a burner phone on you? And second of all, why would you not turn that bitch off? Personally, I don't even think I would have the phone on me. I don't know. I ain't never had committed murder, never had a conspiracy to commit murder, none of that. But I would just think like a cell phone would track you to the scene. Maybe if it was off, they could still possibly track the GPS locator. I mean, maybe a beeper would have been better. Maybe somebody should have hit you on the hip or something. I don't know. But I just didn't think that anybody would be dumb enough to go along with this stupid plan with this stupid ass nigga. And all y'all niggas about to get life. Y'all about to get that Casey and JoJo life. Tell me, how did I get life?
just like a bird. Just say it.
I just wanna fly free and own a piece of land somewhere through the country.
Man,
Tell me, how did Tim get life? They gonna be remixing that song in jail. They gonna be wearing that booty hole out, my nigga. I don't feel sorry for you, big swole neck nigga, steroid using airhead ass. That nigga built like the goddamn Michelin man.
when I tell you the comments, Armand, he been on this. Armand having me dying. I knew that short man was gonna get got to. This lunch lady arm ass dude ain't going down by
The
himself.
lunch lady,
I
no,
said he got some auntie arms.
for real.
Like, and then here go people who don't understand nothing. What did Tim do to you, bro?
Up,
You know, Armand, like, listen, I agree with him. I hate to see, even when I tell you the memes, he said, because said he got childbearing hips. Thomas him, I never trust a big butt and a smile was a person.
I seen that. I was dying. I was dying. I was like, oh, bro, you hilarious for that one.
I told Armand they gonna have him dressed like Cardi B singing WAP.
Hmm.
Macaroni in the pot.
Hell to the nose, to the no. Hell to the no, hell to the no. Hell
Oh,
motherfucking no.
I'm telling you, he gonna be in jail with that shirt tied up with them titties hanging out, thick ass hips, soft ass back
Can't
arms.
can't say I feel sorry for you. Like
Yeah.
if you're going to have a lack of empathy, then I feel that you should have a lack
Mm-hmm.
of empathy all across the board. So if I can go hard on Megan Thee Stallion, I can definitely go equally as hard on Tim for the
Mm-hmm.
decisions that he has made. So Tim, uh, night, keep your butthole tight.
Ain't gonna happen. Thick ass hips.
Hmm.
The hips don't
Tim,
lie.
hmm. I'm sorry, Miss Robbie had to go through that.
I feel so bad for her.
Like
Because
I
I
can imagine the
understand.
conversation. Like, Tim, what have you done? I have
10 on 10, what the
every
fuck? Robbie has cussed him
opportunity.
out plenty of times.
I have given you every opportunity, Tim. How could you do this?
Her
Oh,
grandson, yo, yeah,
nephew.
I feel bad for her because I understand her intentions of like, okay, well, let me try to see what I can do to help him get a better life, and then he gonna do some nonsense like that. It's messed up.
Mm, it is. It is. What time is it? It's 9:30.
5
Yes, 9:35. How long we been on here, Rebecca? Do you know?
since about 8:15.
It's 8:15. Okay, so I don't want to necessarily go too far down into the rabbit hole of Jaguar Wright because I think it's the whole story has been wore out. I really do. I really feel that everybody been jumping on this situation for the
True.
past 3 weeks, especially since nobody outside of a certain musical space knows who Jaguar Wright is.
Thanks.
No disrespect to the sister. I think she's very talented. However, dealing with personal decisions, I think that quite a few of her personal decisions caused her not to be as big as she probably should have been. And
Mm-hmm.
probably one of those things is how hard she is to work with. Like
Yeah.
I just see it in your spirit, in your essence. A lot of people say that's that South Philly, North Philly, wherever projects in Philly she from. They say that's just how we girls are in those projects growing up during that time. But for somebody as talented, I'm not even gonna go into the accusations with the Roots and Common and Summer Walker and whoever else that she decides to throw up underneath that bus. We're not
Mm-hmm.
going to go into the accusations. I just want to talk about her as a person, individual. You know, I tried to watch other videos of her interviews, try to
Mm-hmm.
get a feel from who she is, where she's at, and a lot of the older videos, I didn't see that scorn, that that anger. I didn't see that in other videos when she was talking about her music and whatnot. So it makes me wonder what changed. Because
That's a
it
good.
generally seemed like you look at the light in her eyes in them other videos versus the new one she did. It's like, okay, something's changed. Something on the line. Something may have did not go
Mhm.
the way she intended it to go. But again, I'm asking as a person who loves music, as a person who believes that you can pretty much wade waist deep in mud until you get where you need to go. So it just makes me wonder, as talented as she is as a singer, I'm pretty sure songwriter, she's wrote some books. Not saying that some of the accusations of people who allegedly molested her or did that is not true. I don't know. I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering, like, what seriously changed? Is it did the record sales not go the way she intended, or maybe she's because it seems like there's a lot of bitterness and resentment. It seems less of these people hurt me and more of I'm trying to hurt these people back out of spite. You know, because one of the interviews she spoke very highly of the Roots, and a couple of interviews, like a couple of interviews 4 or 5 years ago. Now you bashing the Roots, like, oh well, Black Thought and Questlove did this, and they didn't have no love for Malik B, and they wasn't mentors to my son. Maybe that's what she's dealing with. Maybe she's take the Kanye West approach. Well, you know, Kanye's mama died, so we got to give him grace and mercy. So maybe that's the same thing with her son. Maybe she's dealing with a lot of bitterness. I don't know when her son died. Maybe the sister's dealing with a lot of anger and resentment from death. You know that, you know, not dealing with the death of your loved ones, you know, that could potentially, you know, drive you off the deep end. I mean, hell, that man, that nigga decided to spend his millions to dress up in a big ass bat suit and go out and hunt criminals at night.
Yeah, yeah.
What are your thoughts, Rebecca? Do you think that possibly she could be scorned, or maybe she just regrets the poor decisions that she made? Maybe she was hard to work with.
I think it's a combination of all of those, but I really think that the way that she's going about it is a bit much, and I think she's reaching. Um, I think she is upset because she feels she. I think somewhere she feels a level of betrayal by the neo soul community. I just don't know what it is, but I think going after people like Jill Scott and Erica Badu is just not the way to do it. Um, her trying to say that other people were raped or touched or whatever, that's just not the way to do it. I do think that maybe she was difficult to work with. Maybe it was just a situation where, like, Nicki Minaj did a video saying, like, when women speak up for themselves in the business, that they are considered difficult. Maybe that was it. Like, we don't know, but I just think that the way she's handling it is just a reach, in my opinion.
Now let me throw this at you, Rebecca. You say that women, or you said that Nicki Minaj said that when women speak up for themselves, they're considered difficult. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay. What do you say about women such as Millie Jackson? For those of you who do not know, Millie Jackson was a prominent artist in the 60s. You know, more so in the 70s is when she really started to gain traction and steam. But, you know, she was came out around the same time that Gladys Knight and the Pips came out. The difference is they started out having her singing the more pop sounding songs. You know, like she had this one song like, "Oh, my man is a good man. My man is a sweet man. My man is this type of man, and he's mine all mine." And she broke it down as like, so, you know, Millie Jackson was considered hard to deal with. She, you know, was definitely one who fought for her rights and equality within the music business. And she definitely fought for her right to sing and say and do and act and dress how she wants to do. But Millie Jackson has a hardcore underground following, though. You know, Millie Jackson had those records that you would put on, and I mean, we talking about actual records on the turntable. Millie Jackson had those type of records that you would put on after the kids go to bed. When you play the Red Fox records and the Richard Pryor records, you know, those dirty records that you didn't want the kids to hear. Okay, Millie Jackson came on after dark. If you haven't seen that unsung Millie Jackson, y'all need to go check that out. Very informative. But she's largely considered the first female hip hop artists, like Queen Latifah and Roxanne Shante and all the early female MC pioneers looked up to Millie Jackson. Millie had a hardcore following with a bunch of people. It's just she didn't get that radio play because a lot of her records were more or less adult based, you know, in the basement, in the corner type of records. But she has an underground following to the point where she even had an unsung. So what's the difference between a Millie Jackson, who was most definitely hard to work with? Because if you didn't have her paper right, Millie would jump on the motherfucker, like I think it was this one white dude or something like that, and he didn't have her paper right, and she jumped on a nigga, and they had to pull her off of him because he didn't have that paper straight. So what do you think is the difference between a Millie Jackson, who was definitely hard to deal with, versus a Jaguar Wright? If Jaguar, do you think that she should have more of an underground following, even though she's hard to deal with? If she was right in her situations, I don't know.
Hmm. I don't know. It's something about Jaguar, right? Though I don't know if that makes sense. It's something about her that screams reaching, and
Hmm.
it's a bit different than Millie Jackson because Millie Jackson might have been hard to work with, but at the same time, it had to be some type of legitimacy to what she said. I just think that Jaguar Wright is trying to throw these names out there to get noticed. That's what I think. That's what I think.
Hmm.
And I don't think it's gonna go anywhere far.
Yeah, I think you're right because honestly, I looked all over YouTube. I could find some videos of her performing. Excellent, singer, performer, all of that. She's been around. She's worked with the Roots, I think Kendrick Family Soul. She sung background vocals for Jay Z. Now, her herself, she's only had about two solo projects, two or three solo projects. So maybe that has a lot to do with it.
Mm,
I mean, because now when I look at Amelia Jackson, she has a hefty discography. She has a body of work. So even if it's just an underground follow, it's like a Tech Nine.
hmm
Tech Nine ain't never really been on the radio, or at least in St. Louis. I don't know how it is in Kansas City, but Tech Nine ain't never been on the radio. He used to always say Tech will never go mainstream, mainstream will go Tech. But Tech has a body of work from the early 90s up until now, and he has built his core audience.
But he's correct because his music don't really be on like his old rock stuff was, but like his other music that he's done don't really be on. It don't be on the radio. However, Tech Nine has worked with like Lil Wayne, and that song was online. So he's right as far as saying Tech will never go mainstream. Mainstream will go Tech. It's a lot of mainstream artists that reach out to him for music. He did a music, not Kanye West. Lil, did I say Lil Wayne? He did a song with Lil Wayne a few
Yeah,
years ago. It was on the radio.
I don't remember that one. I know he was featured on the Carter 4. Wayne just got out of prison. He was featured on that Carter 4. So, giving two examples of some underground artists. Millie Jackson, you can consider an underground artist, but she has a following. She always had a following. She had multiple records. She has a body of work. Tech Nine built his following. Okay, maybe Tech Nine was hard to deal with because they always want to fit Tech Nine into a box. You can only be hip hop. You can only be this. You can only do these type of shows. You can only do that type of show. And he like, hey, music is music, and I'm gonna rock out wherever the fuck people rock with me at. So if that's a rap concert, if that's a goddamn Juggalo fun, whatever the hell they call they carnival circus, clown circus, whatever the hell the Juggalo ICP little thing they got going on, a little concert that they do. Like, dude, like, hey, I perform everywhere for anybody that rock with me. Jaguar Wright, she doesn't really have a discography. She doesn't really have a body of work. Even within, she probably has a body of work being a background singer and vocalist. But who remembers the background singers and vocalists?
Mm, true.
I mean, you had Gladys Knight Pips, and eventually it was just Gladys Knight.
Yeah.
You had the Commodores, and eventually the Commodores became Lionel Richie. You had the Jackson Five. Eventually, the Jackson Five became Michael Jackson.
True.
Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes eventually became Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, and then Teddy Pendergrass.
Yeah.
So nobody really remembers background vocalists like that. Never really have. I mean, aside from a few people like the Temptations and other groups like that, where everybody in the group was just so prominent. But I mean, it's just like the Roots. I like the Roots musically wise, but outside of Black Thought and Questlove, I don't know who any of the people on the Roots is. I don't know the rest of the band members. Hell, I don't know the band members of Mint Condition. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. But
I know. I get what you mean.
people don't necessarily remember singers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could think about the whole Diana Ross Supremes. The Supremes was like, you know, Supremes, and it was Diana Ross and the Supremes, and then eventually became Diana Ross. All them other gals got pushed to the background. And a lot of that does have something to do with the music industry and the way, you know, they tried to push music, and it's harder to split that money 3 ways for,
Yeah.
you know, if you getting $100, you gotta spend $100 between 4 people, that's $25 a piece. So on the greed side of the game, I can understand why, you know, a lot of the more breakout artists would be more popular. Side note, the Migos split everything 3 ways. So shout out to the Migos,
Yeah, that's what's up.
holding their people down with Homeboy, who was it, Quavo or Offset. I don't know. I don't really fuck with the Migos like that, but I do listen to them here and there, and I do know that when one of their people was locked up, like they still split the money 3 ways, like down the middle. Like it ain't none of this. Well, this nigga didn't write on this song, or this nigga. Okay, what was Homeboy saying? Do it look like I got left off Bad and Bougie? He was not on Bad and Bougie, but he got paid for Bad and Bougie.
Yeah, bougie, yeah.
I don't think it's a lot of people willing to make that sacrifice and continue to split their money. But also, you can go off and do your solo projects and still come back together, you know. So ain't nothing wrong with that. 8Ball did it, MJG did it, Ep60, Bun B did it. You know what I mean? So even the greatest groups can split off and splinter off and do their own things. You know, Big Boy and Andre, even though Andre don't too much make music. But it just seems to me that if you look at other examples of artists, even the ones that people think is strange, people still think Tech Nine is strange. Painting his face and red hair, people think that nigga is strange to this day.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people want to work with him. A lot of people buy his music. He has a large body of music, so it makes me wonder what Jaguar Wright has been doing all these years. What have you been doing? I don't know anything about the rape allegations. I don't know anything about the molestation allegations. I don't know anything about Summer Walker. Summer Walker says anybody who touches her would get bodied on God. So I don't know. I'm just going based off of like it's just something about her has caused her career to take a nosedive. Because as talented as you are, you should have been bigger than, say, Marsha Ambrosius. Marsha Ambrosius was with Floetry, and the one Flois's chick was hating on her because she was starting to gain more recognition. And
yep,
Marsha Ambrosius is super big, but she had a couple albums and a couple hits.
True.
I'm just looking at it from the perspective of if you're all that great of a person, why hasn't more people reached out to work with you, and why haven't you created more bodies of work? It just makes me wonder, because you still kind of come from that era where not a whole lot of people was independent. Not a whole lot of people put up their own money. So you would still have to get with producers and whoever else to get into the studio. So it's like you got 2, 3 albums, and what did you do? You spent the rest of your career singing behind everybody else, or what is it? Is something missing? And of course, you know, she not gonna probably ever tell the entire truth of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
What I seen is she went from the Roots to Common to R. Kelly, and I was, how the
She was
hell
kind
you
of
go
all
from
over
R.
the place.
Kelly and then Wu Tang got threw up in there? How the hell you go from R. Kelly to Wu Tang back to the Roots and Erica
Mm-hmm.
Badu, and somehow Jill Scott got thrown into the pot, and then somehow Summer Walker got thrown into the pot, and you like,
She just all over the place.
it just seemed like you off your meds. Like, I don't know what's going on with Jaguar. I think she's a very talented sister, but whatever it is that you're doing is not working for you.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's that one thing that's not working for her is the reason why she's being held back. Now, I don't mean to pick Lizzo, but let's talk about Lizzo. Lizzo came out with an album about what, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, she came out with her last album. Not to say that she's not working on another album, but we haven't really heard any singles from Lizzo. Matter of fact, we really haven't even seen Lizzo since that incident at the Lakers arena.
No, she's still showing her ass on Instagram. That's recent.
But that's Instagram. No, I'm talking about
Well,
like
that
out
as
and
far as
about.
yeah, it's like for as controversy news.
Right.
No,
We have not seen
been
you
going on,
release
so
any
I
more
think it's been.
singles. We haven't seen you do any, like, I don't know. I haven't seen her promoting any tours, doing any press releases, or
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really seen you working. You showing your ass on Instagram. You Lizzo be eating, but outside of that, are you being productive? It makes me wonder if people are tired of you because they know you more for your bullshit antics than your actual musical ability. And that might
Mm-hmm.
be a price problem. People know you more from your attitude than your actual musical ability.
It could be true. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you're coming out now, how come you didn't come out then? Well, we shouldn't judge women when they decide, nigga, please. I can't file a workman's comp claim 2 years down the line. I could be working for the same company, but if I got hurt 2 years ago, I cannot file a workman's comp claim now.
Mm.
I got to do it then when
Yeah.
it's there. And you choose now of all time to come on out, and then you said something about they weren't there for your son. Where was you for your son?
Mm-hmm.
Is this one of them situations where you so busy trying to chase the dream that you leave somebody else to watch your son, and your son
Mm.
streets because of that? Because like I say, she might have that trauma with her son going on in her brain. Maybe that's what's causing her to snap. Maybe it's a series of bad decisions that she has continued to
Yep.
over the course of her career. Because I would think somebody as talented as her, you would shine through the bullshit. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
A real artist gonna shine. Somebody you gonna build a core audience. I don't care who it is. It could be XXX Tentacion. I don't like that nigga music at all, but he had an audience before he died. Lil Snoop, who was Meek Mill's artist, he had a following before he died. Doe B, who was signed to T.I., he had a following before he died. Before they killed him, he had a following. Where's Jaguar Wright's following?
Mm-hmm. A lot of people didn't know who she was.
I still didn't. I've seen her in some videos. Oh, that
Mm-hmm.
girl who was in the background video of the Kendrick Soul in the
Mm-hmm.
background, in the back of the back. Oh, you that one chick that was over there on, okay, on the side behind.
Like, oh, that was you. Oh, like, didn't even see you.
So are we expecting a Jaguar Wright album in
No, I doubt it. I doubt it.
sure?
They still waiting on that book to come out.
She didn't release a book yet.
Mm-mm.
I thought she released a book. Look that up. I thought she came out with some books.
I thought she didn't come out with the book.
We
Let's
gonna
see.
look that up. We gonna look that up.
Let's see. I could be wrong. Let's take a look.
Jaguar Wright book.
Monet Sharon is on some. Okay, I'm wrong. She did a book on Amazon.
Jaguar Wright and Monet Sharon the Woodshed.
Mm-hmm. The Woodshed, Jaguar Wright and Monet Sharon. And this book came out. Jaguar Wright. Trying to see what it's about. They say life imitates art. The Woodshed reveals Jaguar's personal artistic journey intertwined with her struggles as an eclectic artist who could only seemingly thrive in her own creative space. This book came out when?
2017.
July 5th, 2017.
That's my mom's birthday. Shout out to my mother. July 5th, Cancer Society game. Hmm.
So yeah,
Jaguar was subjected to incarceration as a consequence of protecting her child, but all in all, the tough battles gave Jaguar a new voice. Hmm. Seems like it could be a good read.
her story began on the streets of North Philly with the shaped series of life events, leading her to sign a deal with MCA Records. Jaguar created a profound music that spoke to her extreme highs and lows. Her business struggles in tandem with her personal struggles with divorce forced Jaguar to pick up the pieces and learn how to create a new masterpiece without losing her creativity and the heartbeat of her artistry. Her career as a vocalist, and at the pinnacle of her struggles, Jaguar was subjected to incarceration as consequence of protecting her child. But all in all, the tough battles gave Jaguar a new voice, combining her story with bold advice and fierce wordplay. Jaguar teaches, motivates, and gives the real nitty gritty truth about surviving as an artist while trying to be true to self.
Hmm. Seems interesting.
Yeah, I mean, did it get? I think it got good reviews.
Seems like a very inspiring, self-motivating story. I'll just say this, and I mean, I ain't got nothing more to say about the situation. Jaguar, sister, I hope whatever solace, I think is the word that I'm looking for. Whatever peace that you're looking for, whatever, whatever, whatever it is that you're looking for. Yes, solace was the word that I'm looking for. Thank you, Google. Whatever you hope to gain, whatever it is that you're dealing with, I hope that you deal with your internal demons. If not, you're never gonna get out of that space. Whoever did you wrong in the past or in the present, um, I think that she should just take some time for herself and look inside and try to retrace her steps and figure out where she went wrong and own the things that she did wrong and try to move forward from that. Because it's not too late. She still look like she in pretty good health. So whatever it is, it's not too late to mend those burnt bridges, to mend fences, to deal with your personal traumas and issues. If somebody did molest you, somebody did rape you, sister, I am sorry that happened. They'll get their karma. It'll always come back to you. So, like I say, whatever it is, I hope she figures it out. Because at the end, I mean, realistically, she ain't got no son. And I don't know if she's dating anybody, but I mean, realistically, when the lights turn out and ain't nobody there beside you, you ain't got nobody to look at but yourself. And I hope that you find some sort of peace within yourself and deal with your personal traumas. Becky?
I agree. I ain't got no more to say about it. I hope she do well. I just think she going about it the wrong way.
And and one thing I do want to say before we leave, ladies and gentlemen, stop putting other people's business out there. Just because you don't put your business out there, that don't mean you can put some
Hmm.
businesses out there.
It's not your place.
It's not your place. It was like somebody was saying that Luther Vandross was here. I think it was Patti LaBelle. I think she wrote in her book uh, after Luther died, she had like a memoir or whatever. I think she wrote in her book like, "Oh, I knew that Luther was gay. He came out to me or something like that." And it's like, yo, that's not your place.
At all.
If somebody did touch somebody and you know it, or you could, first of all, she said she didn't have any proof that Summer Walker got touched. I don't have no proof, but I can look at her eyes and I can tell that something happened. Whether it did or whether it didn't, that's not your place to tell. It's not
Hmm.
your place at all.
Never take away somebody's right to tell their own story.
Facts. You don't need to tell nobody's story. Whoever's story that needs to be told is going to be told when they're ready to tell it. Bottom line, hell, my brother didn't talk to me because we got into it. We didn't talk to each other about 2, 3 months after we got into it. And I asked him, I said, well, why did you not tell your wife, my sister-in-law, what happened between you and your ex-fiance? I wasn't ready to tell her.
Mm.
That was years ago, bro. You should have been came. But I know y'all like that. What? That's kind of hypocritical, Dave. Well, maybe it is. But me and my brother was getting into an argument about some bullshit, and one thing led to another. And I'm the type of person. I'm not gonna reveal your deepest, darkest secrets, but if you try me, oh, I'm letting all the skeletons out the closet. I'm gonna open up the key and just
Yeah, but I think it was like a situation
what?
in which he said something that he shouldn't have said that had nothing to do with him. It was like you sharing business that don't have nothing to do with you, and you kind of mocking that business. So then you come back and say, "Oh, since he want to talk about this, let's talk about. Did you know?" And that's kind of how I felt like that situation went. So I'm
Bottom
glad.
line, don't go to war with me. Excuse me, don't start a battle with me unless you want to win the war, because I just dropping a whole atomic bomb on you, embarrass you in front of all your peoples and shit, you know. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. If you're interested in seeing that disaster lawn detail, as I call it, stick around to the end of the video on the
He
YouTube.
said,
I will post pictures of the before and after to the yard because I'm kind of proud of it. I think it turned out really nice along with the bushes. So if you're interested, you check that out at the end of this video. The Overweight Lover on Instagram, More Lawns St. Louis, Facebook, Instagram, morelawnsstlouis.com. You can catch us on Google Play, iTunes, all that good stuff, Anchor, Spotify, all the major streaming platforms. Becky,
Lady Q1502 at Instagram and Arthur R. Quarles on Facebook. Lady Q1502 on Twitter.
thank you guys for listening. It's been a real one. We'll holler at you guys.
Peace.
Peace, love, chicken grease.
You stupid.